You know, this is another testimony. As you can see, I'm gonna start changing the cover of my videos, try to add things to it just to kind of show what's happening. Um, and give an idea because these people have tried to create their fantasy in different ways. This technology is sophisticated. It's amazing. It almost gives you a godlike feeling because they are doing a lot of things that is predicted. I think even this part of me adding these pictures to it is trying to create this is basically something that they probably organize orchestrated, but I'm like, oh, that's actually it's very smart. Actually it's not very smart, but it's something I should be doing because as they try to delude themselves as something they are not, why not show a picture of that? So if they made me think of it, then okay, that's actually a good thing to do. um and I will continue to do that actually. But I was on a call with my coworkers, very smart individuals when it comes to what they do, but in this program, you see people involved in it dumbing themselves down. Now, I know that I've heard testimony from women who work with their colleagues, and the colleagues are saying the foulest things to them. So I know that people have the ability to dumb themselves down. And, the way they try to counter that is like, oh, you're very smart. You are smart. No, I'm not. I'm not a genius, but I think you're making yourself dumb. You're just making yourself dumb. Don't try to condescend me because you are having to dumbing yourself down. Because you want to live in that fantasy you've created, and you try to do whatever you can to maintain that fantasy. And so, me saying things that are just the basic logic, which they manipulate, or rationality, I'm a genius. Oh, you are so smart, huh? No, this program does things to your brain. It manipulates you, manipulates your thoughts in these peripheral ways. How do I know that? Is it because I'm a genius? No, it's because I know me. I've been me long enough to know who I am. And on top of that, I've been validated by others that do say the same thing. And on top of that, I might not be the genius, but if you see the people who try to make me accept this, yeah, no, it's not gonna happen. I'm hearing somebody in the hallway say, "We did it." Uh, yeah, this program does that. You know, they have these new ways of trying to to make me like be doubtful, right? But they sometimes use the dumbest ways, and I think it's because my brain has gone to the level of like just they control completely. They were like, somebody was saying that she went on this trip, and somebody else said she went on the same trip, and then my brain started going, "Oh, the other one was just lying." Blah, 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 blah. These are some random thoughts. I mean, I'm thinking, I let that go. I don't care. Okay, whatever. It's just okay. Like if they're driving they push me to have these thoughts. It's just okay. You're like whatever, go with that. It just definitely, but in reality, I'll be like, oh, okay, you guys both went there, okay, like, but it just, and they forced me to have this thought, and it's like, oh, wait, you see, you thought they went there, and you thought the one lied about going there, and the other one didn't lie, so you were not doing anything to you. It's, and I know when I say talk about how they manipulate my brain, it sounds kind of illogical, but that's what they do. This program I'm on my stage is like trying to get you to be doubtful of what you experience, or like, oh my gosh, you see, you're wrong with that, then we're not doing this. This is what is going to be happening a lot. And I noticed that they start doing this. It's because they're taking away rationality. I'm being validated to the nth degree. I can every time I can talk about it, but because they do things so far. I mean, they're talking about implanting child porn on my computer and being called that being cruel. The same people who are trying to block out the fact there's a bunch of pedophiles in these agencies, including DARPA, who was where they call a program manager with child porn on his computer. So you understand how they have to dumb themselves down? Of course, I know they know better, but they are tricking their brain into thinking this fantasy land. And they hate me more because I continuously bring that up. It's like, why don't you let us live our fantasy? Stop it. Let me live my fantasy. Nope, not with me. There's one thing worth being suspicious about is I was listening to there was this Lisa Baker testimony. It's not a testimony, but she it was in California. I forgot the name. of the thing. Let me pull that up. Before I pull that up, let me just hold it. This and let me see. So, so I'm saying that they're trying to these same black girls because I'm reaching for my pocket and they want to do some disturbing stimulation. Now, there's this I'm gonna look away because if there's a child, they're gonna do something pedophilia centric. Um, the what's the name of this again? It was in 2015. There was a council meeting in Richmond, California, and there were a bunch of target individuals that wanted to have a law passed and against this like weapons, even though it was just more like ceremony. It is more like it wasn't going to do anything because this is a federal level and it's global level actually, and it's not like really people are in this, it was not going to happen, but just for that purpose, trying to kind of bring the awareness. They had this council meeting in Richmond, California, 2015, and this woman good evening, everyone, are going to be tapped into these computer systems, and you are going to see what this feels like. So you see the captions here. You still can. Thank you. I have the captions on. Could you be more specific in terms of how you feel that you've been in justice? You mean as far as the Justice Department feeling me? Well, in terms of your being a victim. You mean what I'm feeling? Yeah, explain a little bit to me how you perceive yourself as being. I have actual photographs of burns on my body. When I went to my doctor, the response was, how do I... So I'm currently seeing the captions. She described what happens to her, the burns on the body. No, you didn't do that to yourself. How do you even address that? I've passed 2 psychological evaluations. Not one, but 2. The one physician said, you're mentally sound as a bell. He said, I don't have any idea what's going on with you. When I go to sleep, when I go to try to sleep, I feel like I'm being lit up like a Christmas tree. I feel every cell in my body. And she goes through her testimonial saying how her rectum is being zapped and she feel like she's been lit up by probably dark energy weaponry, which we know that's dark part weaponry. Just bouncing out of my body. I can't even describe it. I get electric shock of my rectum. I get electric shock of my nose. I've woken up with burns on the end of my tongue. I've had burns on the palms of both my hands. I vibrate. I can barely hold a piece of paper without quivering. Does that answer your question? So she talks about her testimony, which I can relate to. A lot of those what she went through. I went through. I was quivering after like some hard radiation. I remember waking up and I was like shaking. And I definitely felt some kind of like every night I do feel like something just happened to my body, which is direct energy weaponry. Which, just like me, she's a subject of this experimentation. I'm trying to find what's the source of the source of these exotic weapons. They talk about in 2977. They talk about the space weapons, space-based weapons. Basically, in that document, it talks about exotic weapons. That's what we're talking about. And the fact of the matter is, they did complete that global surveillance network. My cousin worked for the Defense Department. She worked on the global mapping of that system. And when I told her what I was going through, all she could say was, you're on your own. Well, I figured that out. Starting from this part, the captions end. Now, it's weird because she's still talking properly. Nothing changed. You can understand her clearly. I get captions throughout my whole videos. And I know that sometimes I speak, it's not easy to understand me. So I figured that out. If you would please, I urge you to pass this. I realize you can't enforce it, but if you would pass it, it might give other communities the courage to do the same thing and show our Defense Department we are not the enemy. We are not to be attacked. We're not terrorists. Most of us are defenseless women. Okay, thank you. And that's it. No caption at the end. Most of us are defenseless women. Now, is that something worth being suspicious about? Yes, I would be suspicious. Like, why this part is the only part that they're not captioning? Nothing changed. The same camera angle and everything. She speaks in the same very understanding tone of voices. But when she says most of us are defenseless women, there's no caption. Now, this is something worth kind of being, oh, okay, well, everything was going clearly. That part doesn't work. That part did not subtitled properly. Did something happen there where they switched that part off or something? This is something I would naturally be like, yeah, this is kind of weird. Yeah, somebody might like they might be doing something to that because she is speaking properly. You heard her, and she clearly said most of the people, there's mostly women, defenseless women in this program. I would be suspicious if captions end there. Understandably so, because everything is working. All the caption, almost all the captions are perfect. There's just maybe the one that will stop again, and then they jumped out calling out there's a lot of defenseless women in this program. And so, yes, that will make me be suspicious. Not this thing about somebody going on a trip or, this is them forcing me this stuff. That would be like, did they do this? Is that something they would do? Like they stop this caption? Yes, I'll be suspicious of that. You know what I'm saying? And it would be understanding why. Because they wouldn't want, because what I was going to do, I was going to take a screenshot of this and put that on my thumbnail. So I will be like, yeah, maybe that they have something to do with that. I'm not 100% sure, but maybe that is something they have something to do with. Understanding suspicion, not confirmation, but suspicion. Now, based on this, the things that they sometimes make force me to be like say it to just be I see it, though it was us. They want me to be doubtful on the obvious 100% sure of what they do, which is the pure nasty pedophilia manipulations, which I've shown over and over and over. Now, as I'm saying that, people are saying all kind of things, distract me, disorient me, tell me how I'm gonna be fired. Okay, you guys do this. I don't care if I get fired or not. My priority in my life now is to continuously say things that they need to hear, and not them, the perps, but the target individuals that are manipulated into thinking these disturbing ways and want them to be acceptive of it. They're saying things that like to try to distract you from reality. They try to make me zone out on some disturbing things. They do everything possible. Their job is to make me stop saying things they don't want to hear and force me to get back into reality. They tell me you no job, no smiles. Like I will not be able to be breathing. I know why. Because my employer put me in this program. You guys are the bottom feeders that works for these entities. You guys try to use the facade of feminism. You hear what's happening. Protective of children. You want to hear what they do to children? Everything has been exposed. What you do is just try to block that out. As I'm saying, it's happening. That is what their life consists of at this point. Counter reality. Reality is being blocked out by these bottom feeders. They tell me I'm gonna bum. I'm not gonna bum. I'm gonna fade away. I have no need to survive. I just need to live life with dignity. And I'm not saying dignity in the sense of, you know, living with the best or whatever. No, 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 no. Dignity is knowing that I never subscribe to these things. I couldn't live the life that they live and live life like, and feel comfortable with myself. I would probably starve myself. I would probably like live unhealthy. And then the church block we're scared. Who told you to be scared? I'm just saying. I'm glad I'm not you. You understand? They are this. They are disgusting low lives that I'm gonna continuously bring reality. They sold to pedophiles. I know I'm just one person, but they have done it to many other people. So I just want to be that person when things go wrong with them, because life is life. Life will bring you in a situation where you might just want to pray. That moment, that's the moment they'll be like, "Oh, okay, you know what we did? Yeah, I want to be part of that." But I don't care about these people. I know they're just bottom feeders. If tomorrow they died, I don't think you would just okay. I'll probably even be sad. Like, okay, well, who's the next person? Who's going to replace that person? Like to them, to me, they're just perps. I don't almost don't even take it personally. But to me, right now, it's like somebody that I can take a picture of and show to other target individuals. This is what these people are looking like when they try to make you subscribe to these things. I took some of my coworkers because at one point I'm like, these people were trying to play this facade of, oh, look at us. We're so intellectual. We're so progressive. We're so uh, sensible. You see, believe us. No, no. You sold your soul to pedophiles, and now you have to dumb yourself down. As intellectual as you are, as progressive as you are, you're gonna really have to block out reality. You listen to this woman talking about how she's getting zapped in the rectum, you're gonna block it out. You hear this woman talking about mostly women are being in most defenseless women in this program. You're gonna block it out. You know what they try, Robert, because they're trying to make me think of this storyline they created to block out reality. Well, these people want to block out the fact that there's a bunch of pedophiles in these agencies that only child porn and everything else, and are unable to say the name of somebody who picked up kids. They live in a reality they've put together, created, manipulated, sad, pathetic. Well, in reality, they're in the worst of the worst. They are in a program that is filled with people running this, doing things to children in different fashion. The program tortured children. Those agencies have a bunch of pedophiles in them. They do the pedophilia type of torture. They force you to be stimulated toward children. And the boxing these thoughts they put together that is just wow. And they use these childlike people because they are perhaps the most special people that can make you believe these things they just put together. With no shame, no campaign and all that, but cannot even say the name of a pedophile. So stay strong, target individuals, and know that you should never subscribe to this. They sold their soul to pedophiles, and now they're here making noise campaign and try to make you subscribe to this. Be lucky, be glad that you're not this. You hear the noise campaign? That could have been you. At least you have dignity in this death and this sufferance. So stay strong.